Now, the thing with TLS 1.3 is that it's super fast and it's also less verbose than 1.2. Now, this video is part of a long ongoing series on system design. We've already seen encryption, SSL, TLS 1.2, and this is why we are now focusing on the TLS 1.3 Handshake. We're going to be using all our knowledge that we've acquired in the previous videos in this video. I want to take a quick minute to share something very important with you. Now, as you move up in your engineering career, DSA and coding become less and less important, and system design becomes more and more important. To the extent that if you're going for a director, VP, or CTO position, the only thing they're checking for are your system design skills, because they assume that since you've spent so much time in the industry, you're very good with coding and DSA. Now, there are many resources on the internet for basic system design, but there isn't much for advanced level system design or using system design skills to actually work with complex systems. And this is why I've built a 3-month advanced system design cohort. If you're someone who has some experience in the industry and you resonate with this problem statement, you might want to fill the form that's in the comments and in the description of this video. 20 people have already joined up in this cohort. We'll check to see if you're a good fit once you fill the form, and we'll set up a time with you. Now let's get back to the video. So the way you start a TLS 1.3 Handshake, which is supposed to be super fast and less verbose, which is basically an improvement upon 1.2, is that you start with the RSA private and public keys on both the client and the server side. Now, before I go into step 1, I just want you to see that this only has 5 steps as compared to the 8 steps of TLS 1.2, as compared to the 9 steps of SSL Handshake. So every single time, we're reducing the number of steps. And TLS 1.3 reduces the number of steps from 1.2 by reducing round trips. So how does that work? So first, the client sends a hello. So the first thing that happens is that the client sends a hello, which includes the supported cipher suites, extensions, and key share for Diffie-Hellman. Here you can notice that we're using the elliptical curve Diffie-Hellman. If you've not seen the videos on the Diffie-Hellman key exchanges, you need to watch some of the previous videos. The other thing that happens here is that it already proposes ephemeral key material. So we know that the key is going to be changed for each session, and that's why we're going to have ephemeral keys. And this reduces round trips because the material is proposed in the first stage itself. And the server replies with a hello and chooses the parameters like the cipher suite and the supported group. It sends its own ephemeral Diffie-Hellman key share. And now the encrypted communication can now be derived immediately. The server sends its certificate and proves its own private key. And the server sends a finished message authenticated with derived key. The client also sends a finished message using derived keys. And now the usual HTTP request and response communication can continue between both the parties. So as you can see, this reduces round trips because it's sending the ephemeral key material in the beginning itself in the client and server hellos, thereby making it fast and less verbose. Now, this is the most recent version that's actively in use currently. So I hope you've now learned and understood how SSL and TLS handshakes take place. Next video onwards, we're shifting to APIs because we've built upon our foundation of TCP, HTTP, and secure connections. We can now start trying to understand where and how we actually use these things.